Yo, what is up folks, MTG here, taking a look at Jeskai Flash in Explorer and Pioneer. The Lost Caverns of Ixalan is just around the corner, and we're kind of ticking down the days till that comes out, but pretty sweet list to kind of close things out with here. Heartflame Duelist is the card that kind of like build around, and that kind of the inspiration of the deck. 1 away for a 3/1, instant sorcery spells you control have lifelink, which has got that like Soulfire Grandmaster style ability from Fate Reforged, if anyone remembers that. And then Heartflame Slash is this awesome adventure, 2 in a red, instant, 3 damage to any target, just very efficient, and can, hey, gives you this like pretty nice removal spell that also you can use to burn your opponent out, and it's as a 3/1, it's pretty aggressive. You go that direction. Around that, we've got like a bit of a flash and counter burn shell, really. I'll just go through starting at 1. So play with fire here. Red, 2 damage to any target. If a player is at damage, just scry 1. It's a cheap, efficient 1 mana removal spell. But also, hey, if you do decide to go, I'm going to try and start burning my opponent out, gives you some nice card selection. And at 2, we obviously have our Heartflame Duelist, which is a bit of a 3-drop or 5-drop in a way. You want to, like, wanting to use the slash before you play it out. Depending on the matchup, maybe you just jam this on turn 2 if you're like, it's a combo deck, I need to get some damage in aggressively. But hey, there you go. And then we've got some very efficient 2-mana spells with Make Disappear. Counter spell on control base 2. Generally, you're not going to be paying the casualty here, but hey, it could come up. Just the best 2-mana counter spell in the format, pretty much, at least for wantably. And then Lightning Strike here. Again, another 3 damage spell. So with the Lightning Strike, play with fire, and the Heartflame Slash here, we've got a ton of burn. We're not actually done yet either. Lightning Strike as well, just at 2 mana, very, very efficient, and as an instant speed removal spell, I always talk about this, but you can kill Greasefang when you're on the draw, which is super, super important, and it's nice to have a bit of insurance. We've got 8 mana, 8 spells to kind of deal with Greasefang when you're kind of on that like back step on the draw, which is actually super nice. So you don't just get got, which is the danger. At 3, one of the new cards we have is Quick Study. Simply Devastation at instant speed, just draw 2 cards. It's nice to have an extra 2 for 1. We've got like some pseudo 2 for 1s, but obviously the adventure cards here, we've got a few more as well. But hey, sometimes 1.5 is not that great. And then the Quick Study lets you kind of catch back up, get ahead on cards again later on. And for 3 mana, it's just very efficient. Then we have some more adventure creatures. We've got 4 copies of Bonecrusher Giant, which again contributes to our kind of package of burn spells. It's obviously a great piece of removal too. And 2 in a red for a 4/3. It's just very solid, one of the best rare cards of the format. Almost format defining in a way, just in terms of like, if your 2-drop just dies to Bonecrusher Giant, it makes it pretty bad. Unless it's giving you some kind of enter the battlefield effect and leaving something behind. Then we have Brazen Borrower, again, contributing to that kind of flash game plan. It's even like, yeah, not all these cards have flash, but you can kind of play a flash game and then you're going to play the creatures out later anyway. And the Avengers are all instant. But hey, Haven non-land permanence, fix of anything. And then obviously 3 mana, 3/1 Flash Flyer is very, very good and can close the game out pretty quickly. And then the blue-white card that we're kind of, Spellquell is just really, really awesome. One of the best cards in the Flash archetype. 3 mana, 2/3, Flash Flying, enters the battlefield, exile target spell, mana value 4 or less. Until, not only is the battlefield they get to cast it, but hey, ideally you either get to counter that or, finish them off. And then one really, really cool thing here is we've got 4 copies of Ionize. Like, this isn't a card I see very often. Well, it's counter target spell and then deals 2 damage to that spell's controller, which, 2 things. Firstly, contributes to the counter burn plan. We've got 4 copies of Play of Fire, 4 copies of Lightning Strike, 4 copies of Heart of Flame Slash, we've got 4 copies of Stomp, and the Ionizers here. We can actually burn our opponent out pretty quickly, and Ionize obviously is doing that while interacting with your opponent's stuff. Other thing to note here is that 2 damage does also work with Heartflame Duelist, so it's a counter spell that gains you life and burns your opponent. Counterspell Lightning Helix. Is a bit of an exaggeration, but we like it. And then the other card that is just like incredible for the Flash archetype, the Wandering Emperor, and that actually tops our curve. We're pretty low to the ground. 2 white, comes with 3 loyalty, just incredible. Just will eat aggro decks for days, but -2 X target tap creature, you gain 2 life, and then you can either start putting counters on your guys or making samurai. Both modes very, very strong here. The mana base. Pretty solid. 1 Ragran Triumph, because like, hey, you may as well play a Triumph, right? 2 Sacred Foundry, 3 Steam Vents. We've got some more shocks here with 3 Hallowed Fountains. We've got 4 Spybuff Canal, which is playing as our kind of like 4 of Fastland. Importantly, lets you play Fire on 1, but also gives you blue and red, like have Lightning Strike make disappear on turn 2 if you play a blue-white or the Triumph on turn 1 as well, which is fairly solid. Because you're not playing tons of 1-mana spells, just the 4 players of Play with Fire, having some tap lands is okay. And so we're actually trying out some Restless Spies here as well, as one of the new mana lands from Mods Eldraine. Blue-red becomes a 2/1, and then If it's your turn, it gets first strike. When it attacks, you scry 1, which is actually pretty handy. Again, some more card selection. Then we also have 4 copies of Deserted Beach, blue-white land, enters untapped most of the time. And then 1 of each of these utility lands here, 1 Tokenzin, 1 Otawara, 1 Django, with a plains and an island. That's the mana base. I'm going to be taking this into some best of 3 ranked games, so I'll go through the sideboard here. If you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, I really appreciate it. Or if you enjoy the video, please do drop a like as well. So 4 copies of Rending Body, Grease Fang, Humans, Angels, Spirits, all kinds of shenanigans. Rending Body just really, really solid there. 2 copies of Change the Equation versus green, or also red, mostly there to like mono green. 2 copies of Dovin's Veto, win your counter wars, and also versus combat decks, just very, very solid. 2 copies of Reckoner Bankbuster for some of the more grindy matchups where, hey, you want to just like have something to do and be on the board. 2 copies of Redan is a really awesome tool versus both combo decks and other control decks. Or well, even later, like more deadly control decks than this. Like this is a flash deck really, or tempo stuff. But yeah, just make your opponent's spells cost a bunch more. Even this is something like Enigmatic Incarnation, Enigmatic Fires. Just keep them off of those powerful 4 mana spells. 1 copy of Narset for control matchups, and then 2 copies of Settle the Wreckage. Again, we're playing a flash deck. Settle the Wreckage is one of the best hoses for aggro in the format. It's one of the most frustrating cards to play against. If you get got by it, it's like, I don't want to attack with everything. Do I not attack with anything? Your opponent's unlikely to really be playing around it that much. And so, hey, exile all attacking creatures target player controls. They get basics, but you get to exile their creatures, so you've got to be pretty happy with that trade-off. Alright, that's the deck. Let's hop into some best of 3 Explorer ranked games. Alright, first match here with Jeskai Flash. We've got a very interactive hand if we're playing an aggro deck. Kind of hard to judge when, hey, you don't know the matchup yet. But I'm going to go ahead and keep this. If they look like doing something deadly, maybe we can just go on a burn plan pretty quickly. That is a Hallow Fountain. I think, given all these things, I'm just going to still make the Triumph one. Make sure that we've got our lands coming to play untapped the next few turns. And we'll see what they want to do here. Our control can be a little tough. I'm going to play one of these untapped to pass. I don't want to just like jam a card into their open mana. They're likely to have a make disappear of their own or something like that. But hey, make them use of mana on their turn. Pass through. I'm going to end a turn stomp and look to untap Vanquisher Giant. If they decide to interact with either of these here. There is a danger versus actual blue-white, or like normal blue-white, that your opponent this might get absorbed. This is likely to get absorbed. We're kind of like fine with that. There's nothing they can do too badly on 4 mana to punish us. On 5 mana, it's a little bit more tricky. If they were able to go like untap, play Teferi, like gotta feel pretty bad about it. But hey, at the moment we're okay. I'm going to take a bit more damage. Unlikely the opponent's going to be able to put a lot of pressure onto us. Interesting one here if they decide to... Okay, no like no 4 mana kind of draw spell, like a Memory Deluge. Again, we can go for Stomp here, but now when we play our Vanquisher Giant, off the back of it, we'll have some mana left open. So hey, let's go to our turn. It's possible you could use like a window here to try and like play with fire or something like that. I'm just holding them for the time being. The opponent doesn't know about them yet, and so hey, very small mana investment. Wandering Emperor is interesting, but I like Vanquisher Giant holding up Make Disappear. This is where I'm at. So if they decide to counter this, you can have some thinking about it. The problem here really, the tempo thing, we can just counter the absorb. If they go untap, make Teferi, we're in so much trouble. What does our next turn look like if not? I think I just let this go. I really want to value the Make Disappear and hold on to it. See? Looks like it's going to pass back. There. They are only at 4 mana. We get to play the mana advantage, that's great. We're in a nice position here again where we're going to get to maybe do some flash things. End turn. Because now we can let to Wandering Emperor and then Make Disappear. It's always tempting to counter card draw spells when you are ahead. The problem is that eventually it will draw into lands. I'm going to regret not having this maintenance appear here. Bit of a question though, can we close the game out enough in time? I think I have to let this go. We still have like a really solid plan here with End of Step, Wandering Emperor, plus the maintenance appear back up. And we kind of we're not going to be able to close the game out fast enough that our opponent won't join. We have some fun, but it's still going to take us a few turns. I'll put a stop on our End Step. Just in case. I want to remember here. It might be they have a veto. If they have a veto, there's nothing we could do about it. That's fine. Turn on full control as well. Yeah, they have a veto. That is okay. I'm going to fire off a player fly here, get a scry. It's unlikely we're going to get a great value out of these. The other thing is, like, hey, maybe they'll have a Teferi eventually. I will put the big commander at the bottom. We're good enough about that. Let's go to my... They have 3 mana open. We can actually do the exact kind of same thing here. Yeah. Them having vetoes game 1 is a little tough for us. Obviously, we've got some of the sideboard to board into. But hey. Narset's pretty big. Kill this though. If I'm Wandering Emperor, I don't necessarily want to sacrifice the token straight away. I think that's fine. I'll let this resolve. I don't know why I've put control on. 3/6.
Hone your prowess.
Sounds like they've got some choices. Deluge. Deluge is pretty good. It's also a rough one to counter because I have to flash it back. End step, Wandering Emperor. Don't have a veto immediately.
I am the Emperor of Kamigawa, and I will protect my people.
Go ahead and make a samurai.
We must protect the people.
Make disappear the fate. I think so. Protect the Wandering Emperor. It's going to make at least one more samurai at this point. Oh, no way they have a spell pierce, right? Surely. Ah, well, the other token. Okay. That is fair enough. I wanna slash this now.
I shall miss your company.
Go ahead and make samurai. They don't have a manland yet, which is good for us. The question is, do I want to play this? I think I do. There's not a lot of point in telegraphing counter magic here. I kind of want to fire off a play with fire as well. So they're gonna start pulling away in terms of card advantage. Yeah, main phase memory deluge is at least gonna give us a little bit of time, perhaps. See how this plays out. They don't have a Teferi in play yet, so they can't be like doing this stuff and then doing tons of stuff in mana. Like, do you have a Fateful Absence in there anyway, which is a little tough. But hey, we've got 5 damage on board. And so that will fire this off. I want the quick study, but I also kind of just want action. We've got a clue already, actually. Alright, more bonus. Okay, I'm just going to set the clue now so I know what I've got to use. 13. Would love it if one of these was a man land. Yeah, there is a verdict. Though I guess they have a field rune anyway. We'll fire off, play with fire again. On here, they can't memory deluge this turn. Yeah, we just can't really contend. They've got too much mana now to make this appear. Okay, Ionize is an interesting one. Good go. Just it. I kind of like ionizing this because this catch takes like their entire turn. Nine. 3 points. You find 6 more points of damage. There's it's a fairy though.
I know my responsibility. Hurry.
Now it's a fairy in play. If they really start to get ahead, then I'll think about conceding time constraints. Would generally like to have like a couple of different matchups showcased rather than one. Ionize is big. Okay. 4 more points of damage. And like to play around potential counter spell. You can do some of that though. Do some of that for sure. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it still uses like almost all the mana. They can have like absorb up. Thing. Not unwinnable, but after another couple of turns it might be. Okay, Shard Typing Cycle is totally fine. But no, they left 2 mana up there. It looks like they've got a Beta or something like that. Maybe a Make Disappear of their own or some other kind of 2 mana counter spell. Even like a Negate. It's unlikely that in Pioneer they'll be playing like main deck Disable Stroke. Wouldn't imagine that'd be the case. But we'll see. I'm looking to see basically if they have another land and they have a memory a veto, they might look to just main phase just to kind of pull things off. And they get to untap some land. Fairy. You may attack me for one. Not attack me. I'm just going to tap it. Alright, that's more damage. I'm just expecting them to fire off this memory deluge for 4 cards. Cycle Farmland is interesting. New memory deluge. Oh, this is becoming pretty tough. I need to fire one of these off, aren't I? I think I have to let this resolve. Now I can start reaching for like a big memory. Got a ton of cards.
You know
But it might. They're at the point where these might just not need to be cast now. They might have a bunch of counter spells here. Have to see though. The last one. I want to get one of these lightning strikes out of my hand. So I'm gonna play one of these. Alright, let it resolve. I'm just gonna let this go. To find a little bit of a window and to actually draw another burn spell. I want to be like countering their absorb with this ionize ideally. Kind of try and map out how I want to do this in my head. Oh, buddy. At a certain point though, they'll sit there and be like, I've got enough counter spells. Can't lose. They want to go to attacks. They're coming across into the red zone. They're not yet, okay. Maybe it's untap some lands here. So I have 4 mana untapped. They're also quite close to being able to just like to fairy. What did I say? Yeah. Gandra's not the card I was looking for. It's a bit tough because we like had to try and draw like runner burn spells. And a tricky one.
Hurry.
Just keep giving them infinite cards. They literally discarded 2 cards last turn. We were in a state. There's no man land, so we're not just going to die in 2 turns. Just good. I don't want to attack either. Alright. We are in a bind. Alright, we found some burn spells. What are you doing end of turn? This is one of these things where I'm like, okay, you probably have some counter spells now. Are you going to take some game action? If 5 mana?
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it.
Take one more game action.
Suppose I have a better plan next time. I'm sorry.
Alright, well this is going to be tricky. Opponent is ultimated. Are they going to greed here? Do they have ways to draw a bunch of cards? One, two, three, four, five, six. I'll let this resolve.
I know what must be done.
Alright, let's let them point their trigger. Let's lead with lightning strike. Veto we can't do anything about. I think it's untap 2 lands. Like this, because now they can draw cards exile lands. This is where we have to kind of make a stand. The logic being that if our last card is a burn spell, so now they're on 1. They do get to untap some lands here though. That is not it. Rough. They have so many memory delusions as well. Oh dear. Okay. Like if we can draw one, you have one draw step here. What are they trying to do? They're gonna exile these. They should be. What they should be doing is exiling my red sources right now, I think. But.
We need to move quickly.
Speaking of. Yeah. Alright, well, I spoke too soon. Don't do that, that's rude. Many more ways there of drawing cards. There's one line here. If they don't have a counter spell, we can bounce the shark and then play a Brazen Borrow it and then kill them with it.
We've got the edge in this fight.
I have to cast this now, unfortunately. I was going to say, there can't possibly be any outs. Alright, that's going to seal the deal. Don't I? So that's game 1. It took 19 minutes. Oh dear. Well, I hope it's at least interactive enough. Right, let's get this Nasa in here. Let's get these Vetoes in here. Let's get the Bankbusters in here. Let's get the Redeems in here. What do you want to cut? These Player Fires unfortunately do not do anything in this matchup. The Lightning Strikes are also pretty bad. We want these things because they're threats, even if they're not necessarily the greatest. I need to cut 3 more cards. This is the most logical thing. We're not really lightning striking any of the creatures. It goes to face, or it does burn them out. But like the other cards we have are all kind of 2 for 1s or doing a bit more for the mana. So we're going to sideboard like this, and see if we can take games 2 and 3. All right, here we go. Yeah, they have more counter spells, and their deck's designed to go a bit bigger than ours. We will play, of course. We have Spell Queller, which is nice. We have Quick Study. We've got all our colours. Like, gotta feel pretty good about it. We're gonna lean on a tap Tallow Fountain, play the Spyblock Canal second, and see where things go from there. Good decision. Do not draw the 3rd Spyblock Canal, please. Please, please, please. And the thing we struggle with versus control decks, really. I'm just going to slam this here because they can't counter it, and then we have a big 4-3 threat in play. The thing about we struggle against control decks is generally we don't have anything proactive to do. This is about as good as it gets, slamming a Bone Crusher right on turn 3. And now we can play a kind of Delver game and we try and protect it. We'll see how well that goes. But, in for 4 for the time being. No real antidote for that, though. Yeah. You got it. We've been agengaed. Well, hopefully it's costing them their land drops. You can always hope. No, they have plenty. Engagate Pathway. We've got a Fire of Quick Study here, and then we've got Brazen Borrow plus make here next. The Quick Study is potentially going to draw a counterspell out as well. Ideally, they're vetoing this and not like our... This is fine because we're not planning on letting them use the other 3 mana here. Just going to pass the turn back. Get your discount, but it's, you know, not allowing you to do anything particular. Going to pay 3 mana for that. They're getting up on land, which is a bit tough. But are being forced into a more... Well, we're going to be on a more active role anyway. But just going to have to kind of run out the Brazen Borrow here. Okay. Emps. That. In for 3 we go. I'm just going to connect. What are you planning on doing on my end stats? Deluge. I mean, if we hit the land, I'd Spell Queller this, but I'm going to make... Are they going to have a Mystical Dispute? I think if they use a Dispute here, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Got its Emperor. So this. They know. And now we're in a pretty good spot. We'll just play this out. Now we've got our 5 lands. In for 3 we go. We're playing a bit of a clunky Delver deck. The Fairy, we've got to try and ionize this. Potentially they have a veto. If they do, it's tough, but we can at least attack the Fairy down. They do have a veto. Fair enough. What's Teferi doing? It's got a plus.
Skip to the good part.
Um. It'll take us a couple of turns to kill. Teferi. What kind of do you have to try and finish it off? Leaving it around is awkward. Leaving it for one more turns awkward. Unfortunately, 5 is not a great number for us right now. Removal spell. That wouldn't be that bad. Oh no, because they could tuck the spell queller. Okay. Oh, they couldn't actually. It's gonna be on 2 loyalty. Alright. Tef's still gonna cash in a couple of cards. Working with. You can spell queller Supreme Verdict. It's a tough one, because letting your opponent like float one around. I'm gonna cast this. Is awkward. But we really need to kill Teferi. Alright. Well, surely this has just gone through fine. There's nothing bad about to happen. Surely this spell queller couldn't find itself suddenly in a mess. We only have 3 cards, you know. We're not out of it. What's the verdict? Interesting. Cycle sensor. Okay. Alright. Do we greed? I think that I greed. Yeah, I think that if they had a removal spell, they'd have just played it. I was wrong. I was wrong. No. Oh. Alright, Teferi gone down. They're at 12. We have about a 2-turn clock. The deluge for 7. What are they gonna have? I don't think they'd still have a Supreme Verdict. I think they would have just played it. I'm good to gamble. I'm gonna gamble on it. This is getting flashback. I think it also just gets flashback. They don't get to. Oh, they do get to stick it. Oh. Baneslayer Angel. That was not on my Christmas list. Let's pass the time back. We've got some Wandering Emperors. One thing to highlight. They have some mana and some more cards though. We have 2 as well. This is so weird. Like, do I want to make a 1/1? Like, not really. I don't think we have any clean answers. I'm gonna put a count on the brace for it.
I have got new moves to teach you.
But Baneslayer plus Counter Magic is a combination. Yeah, this goes. They might just take this and then attack with a Baneslayer. Then we have a Wandering Emperor. Why would you need flying, first strike, and protection from demons? I don't. Yeah, no, it's kind of futile. That's fine. Our ideal scenario is that they start attacking the Baneslayer Angel. And then one way or the other, either through this one or Emperor or this one or Emperor, we can exile it. Yeah, I really thought this was I'd be able to get multiple matches in, but it's not the case. Let this one die. It's gonna die anyway, isn't it?
I guess that's it then.
4 cards in hand. The problem is, like if any of them are removal spells, they all of a sudden have a bunch more cards in hand. I'm gonna respond with this.
I'm not overconfident. You're just underwhelming.
I just want to do this before they can use Safari to spin something.
I am almost sad to see you go.
We'll see how this all goes.
You'll thank me
A bunch of potential problems. So they can tuck Spell Queller. Or they should go plus. I would like them to plus, but I feel like they're going to cast one of these spells. See what's up. Oh, the other thing is that I will have my Explorer and Pioneer set review for Lost Caverns out hopefully by the weekend. I've been super busy with other stuff recently, and so I've not had a chance. However, it's on the list of things that I'm wanting to get done. I can cast this. There is a bit of a joke here. I'll show you what the meme is. So this is going to resolve. They had to play Memory Deluge. They spent 0 mana to cast it. Cool. Alright. Move on with our lives. Aww. Shockland's tough. I'm still going to try and do this. Maybe we should do it with the Memory Deluge on the stack. They didn't get cards this anyway, so they would have had the rooms. They just hadn't played the land turn yet, which is silly. They know that we can kill this. Test the talents. That's. They just don't want to waste test the talents on it, but that's fair enough. They don't get to search for Stomp. Well, they get to search for Stomp, they don't get to exile it. So we have a 5-3, we have a Clue, we have a Wandering Emperor, which is turning this to a 6. We're going to have to burn this as attack basically on the Safari, and we've got a card kind of floating off this Clue here. It's not game over yet. But they're going to get to flashback this Memory Deluge soon. Let's sack this. Ionize is nice. Definitely want it.
Let me know.
And we're still going to tick up the money.
I have got new
I'll play the beach out. Maybe they have a... I suspect they're going to try... Oh, do they have something to do that's not just flashback Memory Deluge? I would love to ionize the Deluge. My favourite. Okay. What are we doing with the hole? At the one. Okay.
Until next time, then.
Oh, we are playing a game here. Oh, double ionize. If they're... We slightly outrace them here because the Brazen Warrior. If their plan is to just keep activating. Yeah, I'm going to ionize this. Oh, I should have let the Aether Gust resolve. Damn. I guess I count on both spells anyway. This is damn dead though. Alright, we are 33 minutes in and going to game 3. Not show the record of Mister. Ooh, okay, sweet game. I think our sideboard is definitely correct. The Baneslayer Angel, does that change anything? These cards don't really kill it anyway. You can still team up the Heartflame Duelist, like kind of stuff, kill it, but we don't have a great answer for it. Other than just Wandering Emperor things, like bounce it or whatever. Maybe we want an extra lightning strike, but I don't know what we want this over. Oh, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 22, I love boarding out a land bus control when you're on the draw. It used to be more of a thing. I think I'm gonna run with it because we just need to teach these draw spells. We cram a little bit. Like max punish for doing that. No, it's not. Okay, we're gonna keep this. We have 2 lands. We're just gonna slam a Heartflame Duelist on turn 2. That's gonna be fine. I'm gonna draw land next time. If this gets countered, that's almost even better. It's not even better, but... Oh, change the equation. Interesting. We do have red spells in our deck. It is a odd choice, I guess. There's a decent amount of things that cost 2 less mana. Didn't hit the land, which is tough. I am gonna drop a... I am gonna just play out a Heartflame Duelist. Once. They're up on cards. We have a 3-1 on board. See what they're up to. We do need to draw a land though. Alright, I did board one out, and we are getting punished for that. And that is my fault. But we now have a Delver Secret to play. We're kind of all in. And we will eventually draw land. It's gonna be fine. Do not spin my 3-1. No, it didn't.
We need to move quickly.
On land. Okay, nice. We'll attack to Fairy. We still can't really leave it alive. And we have a bunch of counter magic. And we have a quick study. We're gonna be just fine. Right?
Let's skip to the good part.
What do they have? They're gonna get to untap some lands, so they're gonna want to use some mana. What do they want to use mana on? The all of a sudden with 3 lands, this looks much better. Sort of. Oh, we've got a mystical dispute. Oh no! Oh my gosh! Oh dear! I was like, yeah, we're gonna scroll well with this free buttocks. Yeah, the definition of all in. They're gonna untap some land. We have to try and flash this. I hope they don't have another spell. Oh no. Gonna be there anyway. Okay. Alright, that could be GG. We gotta play it out now. We're 40 minutes in and we can be an hour in. It'll be okay. Narset, yeah. I stand behind the principle of boarding a land out. But we are paying the price potentially. Who knows? The quick study is now completely used. I guess that we flash the Holobrain. Yeah, I guess we're flashing in Blazing Bowler on that. That's the way. They are so far ahead on mana and the cards. We still just kind of need to deal with the Planeswalkers.
Keep up the pace.
With thoughtfulness before action.
Change the equation. Yep. We'll try the Brazen Mora before they untap the lands. I hate they're using Dispute. Shock this. We know that they have a change the equation. You want to use mana for something? Fine. It's a rough one because I want to Bunkers Giant in the last set. So we can actually turn this quick study on. But yeah, I think we're pretty lights out here. Just if we hit a land over the first couple of turns. Ah well. We had a few draw steps at it we missed. Magic. He may march this. I'm still gonna stomp Marset down. Bit of a weird one because they don't really have to protect it at all. It's got on them bunch of advantage. It's like, okay, it's gonna unlock some card draw for us. Okay, this still wouldn't commit the change, which is good for us, realistically. But you know, it doesn't feel great. Bit of an absence. That's okay. Maybe the way to actually solve the more controlling matchups is to have something, either the like sulfuric vortex style effect, or just like a fast haste creature
Move quickly.
to board into, like Robber of the Rich. I'm so I actually have a I really like Robber of the Rich out of the sideboard. It's like if there's a control decks. Alright, I'm just gonna make this 2 mana haste creature on turn 2, and it's gonna hit you, and it's gonna get to draw your counter spells. Sort of. Doesn't quite like that. Alright, I'm happy enough conceding to the Shark Typhoon. Yeah. Alright, I'll see you in the post game. Alright, post match wrap up. Let's talk about it. Only one match here. It went on pretty long. It's about the length I'm trying to record out at the minute. But hey, we're kind of like really solid with like the Heartland just like lifelinking spells plan and all the early removal. We're really good against aggro decks. We then have like a bunch of counter magic plus quite a bit of pressure. We're pretty good versus combo decks. Well, weakness really is control. And so I got punished here a little bit for the built. We do things about that. Like we could play some mystical disputes of our own. We can add more vetoes. I talked a little bit about like having like something not necessarily Robber of the Rich, but some kind of either uncounterable kind of win condition out of the sideboard, or having like some like haste threats to board into and diversify a bit. And that could be like a solid way to do it. You can also go Planeswalkers, like we have a Narset of our own already. Going more in on Narset, showing off that card draw is really solid and lets you dig for your counter spells. But hey, it is a bit of a weakness, and so that's fair enough. But I think that's very solid. We didn't get to play any other matchups here, but again, I think with all the early removal and like life thinking with your spells and the Wandering Emperors, I think a really solid versus aggro. You've got so many different answers for the different elements in Greasefang. I think you're really solid there, and a bunch of the other combo decks as well. You've got like pressure with the creatures and like a bunch of disruption with all the counter magic. Yeah, kind of run into a bit of a stumbling block here. Hope you enjoyed the video anyway. Deck is really sweet. We've got Lost Caverns coming out in just a bit over a week now, which is pretty hype. We'll be doing a bunch of stuff once the set drops in Arena, which I think is like next Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's the 14th. It's the 14th. And so, yeah, super excited. It should have a bunch of new decks. Again, I will have my Pioneer and Explorer set review out this weekend. And yeah, look out for that. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, do please like, subscribe, share it around. And thanks for watching. Peace out.